So very good evening everyone. I hope I am clearly audible to each one of you. So if I am clearly audible, you can respond me by simply saying yes in the comment box. So very good evening everyone. Okay, that's great. So students, as you know, this week we are going to have the aptitude sessions. We will be celebrating the complete week as the aptitude week on mentorbuddy.com. Okay, so in this week we are going to have we are going to discuss lot many questions onto aptitude. Why? Because aptitude is something which is very important when you go for placements. I'm sure most of you are from different stream, like some of you might be from BTech, some of you from BCA, MCA, BBA, lot many different courses you come across. Okay, but the primary goal of each and every one of us is to get placed in the best of the companies. So for that, when you go for the recruitment drive or any of the companies, aptitude is something which you have to clear in the first step. Okay, because most of the companies follow 4 rounds of recruitment, starting from aptitude, technical, some coding assessments, and finally at the end they would be conducting some technical or the HR interviews. So with the same motive, today we are here to discuss some problems onto aptitude. So in this complete aptitude session, starting from today, we would be discussing lot many topics, lot many different concepts. So you can stay tuned, you can come to each of the sessions and you can learn various concepts onto here on Mentorbuddy. So once again, those who have recently joined, I welcome you all to this aptitude session on Mentorbuddy. So let me tell you about myself. This is Atish Agrawal on behalf of Mentorbuddy.com. Fine. So can we start the session now? Let me know. With a big thumbs up, let me know if I can start the session. We can discuss some of the topics and I can introduce you to Mentorbuddy. So I'm sure most of you have joined in for the very first time. Most of you are new to this portal mentorbuddy.com. So let me take you through the portal mentorbuddy.com and let you know how you can access it to use it to the best of the potential. So if you check my screen here, so this is mentorbuddy.com, mentorbuddy.com. Okay, so this is mentorbuddy.com right on my screen here, my dear friends. So each of you, I'm sure, that have got a login ID and password. Each one of you have got a login ID and password. So using that login ID and password, you have to log in on the portal out here. So how to log in? Let me tell you once again. Those who don't know, it's for them. If you don't know how to log in onto Mentorbuddy, I'm sure you must have received your email ID and password onto your screen, onto your email ID, sorry. So just you need to copy your email ID and password from your emails and you have to put here in the login option out here. So you have to put your email, whatever is your email ID, you have to put your email ID out here and password. So might be your password is your contact number. So simply you need to put your password here and so you need to click on sign in option. So once you are signed in, you'd be landing onto this particular dashboard. So this is the dashboard I think you all have been getting. So you can parallelly check how to log in on the portal. So this is the process. You have to put your email ID and password. So once you're logged in, you can see currently we are onto the CRT preparation module. So currently we are onto the CRT preparation module. So I'm sure each one of you have got this module and you might be seeing several subscriptions available into your Mentorbuddy accounts. So the first one here is aptitude test preparation. So I'm talking about this particular subscription, that is aptitude test preparation. And if you check, my dear friends, there are 3 different subjects here, that is reasoning, quantitative and verbal. So these are basically the 3 pillars if you see: reasoning, quantitative aptitude and verbal. So you need to be prepared in each of these 3 segments in order to excel in any of the recruitment drives. Whether you are going for the placement of the Infosys, TCS, Wipro, Capgemini, whatever be the companies, if they are going to take your assessment onto the aptitude, you need to crack each of these: reasoning, quantitative and verbal. And also, my dear friends, some of you might be willing to participate, maybe if you're willing to go for the competitive exams like CAT. So there also, like quants, verbal and reasoning, these three are equally important. So here is a platform right in front of you, Mentorbuddy, where you can practice on each of these segments. Now how you have to practice, I will be telling you that in a short while. Before that, I would like to know from each one of you, are you able to log in on the portal or not? Let me know if each one of you are able to log in on the portal. You can simply respond with a yes if you can log in on the portal. Let me know if each one of you is able to log in on the portal, because this is very important. If you are logged in, then only you can access all the information that I am telling you. Great, I can see responses from lot many of you. Now for them, those who are not able to log in, so my dear friends, you don't need to worry at all. Those who are not able to log in, what you can do, I'm just telling you an email ID, that is mentorbuddyql@gmail.com. Okay, so the email ID I've told you, it is mentorbuddyql@gmail.com. Let me just write down it for you. So those who are not able to log in, you can simply mail us on this particular mail ID. Okay, mentorbuddyql@gmail.com. So those who are not able to log in on the portal, simply you can mail us on this particular email ID, mentorbuddyql@gmail.com. You can put your issues out there, like whatever the challenges you are facing, and this would be sorted very soon. Fine. Okay, now coming back, my dear friends, like I have shown you the portal mentorbuddy.com. So if you check this portal out here, you can see like recently we have introduced one gamification thing also, like there is some reward system available out here. So you can see here that whatever the goal you would be achieving, that goal is mentioned right on your screen, like whatever goal you have achieved so far onto reasoning, that is 11.41 in the current case. So some goal are mentioned, and your target is to achieve this goal of around 70% or 80% into your case. And slowly and gradually, when you achieve the milestones, like once you achieve 10%, 20%, you'd be getting certain rewards. Like you can see, once you achieve 10% onto each of quants, reasoning and verbal, you'd be awarded with a 1-day free workshop on ethical hacking. So you can see, like sooner the milestones you're going to achieve, you're going to be rewarded with lot many certifications and workshops. Like again, you can see if you're going to get 20%, then you'd be awarded some certification onto social and digital media. Likewise, some advanced game based developments at workshop also you can avail if you're going to achieve around 30%. So this all depends on how much effort you are putting into these three aptitude subjects, that is reasoning, quantitative and verbal. So got it, my dear friends? What is the motive? So you have to achieve the target onto each of these: reasoning, quantitative and verbal. So all the resources are present out here. Let's say if you want to learn the reasoning thing, you can click on this learn option, and you can see lot many concepts are available which you can go and you can access them, and you can learn each of the topic. So you will find concept available on each of them, so that you can go, you can practice and you can learn each of the topics out there. So clear so far? If anyone has any confusion, any questions in between, don't feel shy to ask your doubts. You can ask the questions to me. So my dear friend, there is no time limit. You can access the portal anytime. Okay, and the subscription that you have got, that is available for 1 complete year. So in this duration of 1 year, you can come, you can access, and you can win the various rewards available out here. Okay, so likewise, once you have learn the various concepts onto the topics, then you can go and you can access the various assessments available out there. So you can see against every topic, like currently I'm onto the reasoning dashboard, and you can see all the topics onto the reasoning are listed out here, like blood relations log, all the topics are there. You can go and you can practice on each of those topics. So there is a start test option against every topic. You can go and you can practice on each of the topics out there. So let's say if I click on this blood relation start test option, so this will start a test onto the particular topic, blood relation. So likewise, my dear friends, you need to perform in each of the topics so that you can perform well and you can consequently achieve the goal onto each of the topics. So that is how the module follows onto mentorbuddy.com. Okay, so my dear friends, like I can see some questions coming in, like if you're practicing something and if you're getting some problems, so how to solve them. So my dear friends, let me tell you, for each of the problems there is a solution video available. So let's say if I'm going to attempt this question, I'm just going to randomly attempt some of the question just to show you how the portal works. Since this is the first session, that's why I'm explaining you all this, like how to log in on the portal and everything, so that you can be familiar with the website. From next session we would be learning some of the topics and concepts on various aptitude topics. So you can see, like randomly I have attempted some questions out here. Now I'm going to submit the assessment. So you can see the moment you submit the assessment, your score would be available right in front of you. Like out of the questions that I've attempted, 2 were correct and some were incorrect. So like the students who asked me like how to access the mock paper, like how to access if I'm not able to solve some of the questions. So you can see for every question, like if you see this question, there is a mapped solution video. The sub part was who's the brother-in-law of R. So moment I click on the solution, I'm going to get the solution video for this particular problem. So this is how you can practice again and again, and you can use the portal maximum to have the maximum benefits and enhance your performance in the various recruitment tests. Okay, now some of the questions coming in, like how to access the mock test. And also my dear friends, if you have already availed the Mentorbuddy subscription, you don't need to pay anything. Everything will be available into your account related to aptitude test preparation. That is for sure. If you're facing any challenges, like some of the mock tests are logged or anything, you can write us to us. You can write to us on the mail ID that I shared to you few seconds back. Okay, that is mentorbuddyql@gmail.com. Okay, so like I can see some students are still facing some challenges with respect to like how to access the resources. So let me show you once again. Currently we are onto the CRT preparation. You have to check on the CRT preparation at the top if you are onto this particular segment, and if you scroll down you can see there are 3 different subjects: reasoning, quantitative and verbal. So once I click on this reasoning, I'm going to get all the topics. So you can take the assessments from this particular screen, and your target is to achieve the goal that is mentioned into your account. So you can see there might be some goal set into your accounts, maybe 70% or 80%. You have to target to achieve that goal of 70% or 80%. So if you are going to achieve this target, I am sure that you guys are going to crack any of the recruitment drives, whether it is Infosys, Wipro, Capgemini. So all of them you'd be able to access. Fine. So that is how this particular module works. And let me repeat those portion again. Like if you want to win several rewards onto Mentorbuddy, you need to achieve the goal onto each of these subjects so that you can achieve the various certifications out here. Like you can see the various certifications like ethical hacking, social and digital marketing skills, CAD/CAM tools. So all these workshops and certifications you can win if you are going to achieve those goals onto Mentorbuddy. Fine. So those who are saying they have got only one subscription onto like Excel or something, so my dear friends, let me tell you, Aptitude is something which will be available onto each of your accounts irrespective of the courses that you have taken. Aptitude is something which is common to all. So whether you have taken the certifications onto Excel, out, whatever may be there, but Aptitude is something which is going to be common in among all of you. Fine. So any questions with respect to this anyone has, you can feel free to post me. Else I would like to ask some of the questions. I will be taking you through some of the questions prepared for this particular session. So we will be discussing some questions today. I can see that some questions coming in again and again, like you don't know your login ID and password. So my dear, you don't need to worry at all. Simply mail your ID to the email ID that I given few minutes back, that is mentorbuddyql@gmail.com. and once you do, you will get your ID and password there if you are a registered Mentorbuddy user. You can see the email ID on your screen, that is mentorbuddyql@gmail.com. Yes, you can solve the test as many times as per your wish, because again and again if you're going to solve, then only you will be approaching towards your goal. Okay, there are a lot many questions put against every topic, so you need to take the assessments again and again in order to achieve the goal. I hope I'm clear so far. Anyone, any confusions? That's great. So I'm sure that most of you are able to log in and you can access the various resources. So today what we are going to do, students, my dear friends, today I have taken some of the questions from to Aptitude, that is mainly on the quantitative part, just to brief you about the various topics that are onto the quantitative thing. So even if you check on the screen right now, you can see the various topics onto the quantitative aptitude. Like if you check, lot many topics are important, like you can see it is number system, percentages, profit and loss, ratio, proportion. So all these topics you need to be prepared in order to excel in the exams, I told you. Fine. So today what I have done, I have taken some questions here from this particular Mentorbuddy subscription only. From your subscription you will find all these questions available there. Okay, so one by one we are going to solve some of the questions here onto Mentorbuddy. So if you check these questions I have taken here from Mentorbuddy, and you can, if you go to the company test section, they will find a sectional test option. So there you will find a section on quant. So the questions that we are going to discuss today has been taken from the quant sectional test available out here. That is under the company test segment. Okay. So if you want, you can go and you can practice all these questions. Today I'm going to discuss some of the questions from the company test sectional test from the quant set 1. These questions I'm going to practice today. Okay. So my dear friends, first question is right in front of you all. You have to answer the question very fast. You have to answer each of the questions within 60 seconds. Okay, Satvika, let me clarify the doubt that you are having, that you can see only aptitude. So Satvika, maybe the subscription that you had taken, that will be applicable only for aptitude. So totally depends what subscription you have subscribed. So based on that, you can see the various subscriptions available into your account. Okay, so since today we are discussing problems onto aptitude, so you can see the first problem is right in front of your screen. This question is from probability. Okay, so let's see who all can answer this question. Let me read out the question for each one of you. The question given right in front of you is: a box contains 5 red balls, 6 green balls, 10 pink balls. If 3 balls are drawn at random, what is the probability of 3 different colors being selected? So once again I repeat, if the company test you are not able to access right now, don't worry, just mail us. All those would be unlocked if you have taken the subscription on Mentorbuddy. So now you all have to shift your focus back on the screen. You have to attempt these questions right in front of you. Okay. So if you're not able to log in, if you are facing some challenges with respect to the subscriptions available into your account, don't worry at all. Okay. So simply focus on the screen and mail us whatever the issues you have. Those all will be sorted very soon. Okay, so I can see some answers coming in from most of the students. Some of you have answered option A, some of you have answered B. So different answers coming in. Okay, so those who are asking for the mail ID, let me share the mail ID once again with you. It is mentorbuddyql@gmail.com. Okay, so I can see that most of you have got the answer B. So let's see whether it is correct or incorrect. So those who have just started learning aptitude, so I'm going to discuss from the very basics. You don't need to worry at all. I'm going to help you with the very basic concepts. So if you check the question mentioned is there is a box which contains 5 red balls. There are 5 red balls, then 6 green balls, and 10 pink balls. If 3 balls are drawn at random, what is the probability of 3 different colored balls being selected? So you need to find here the probability of selecting 3 different colored balls. So my dear friends, how we can select 3 different balls? This can be done only if you are going to select one ball of each color. Then only you would be having 3 different colored balls. So this means we will have to select one ball from the 5 red balls, one from 6, and one from 10. So how this can be done? So we are going to select 5, 1 from 5, so 5C1. We can select one red ball from 5 in 5C1 ways. Likewise, one green ball from 6 into 6C1, and one from 10 pink balls into 10C1. This is how we are going to select, right? Now, what would be the total number of outcomes? Like if we want to select 3 balls from all of these 3, so in all how many balls we have? We have 5 red, 6 green, and 10 pink. So in all we have 21 balls. Okay, so if you have to select 3 from 21, this can be done in 21C3. So simply just calculate this value and you'd be getting the answer. So if you don't know like how to calculate NCR, so let me tell you NCR. If you don't know, so this is nothing but n factorial upon r factorial multiplied by n minus r factorial. So this is for them those who don't know like how to solve this 21CR or NCR, right? So this can be done in 5C1 is nothing but 5, 6C1 is nothing but 6, and 10C1 is 10. Now 21C3, so you can see like those who don't know how to solve 21C3, so this is 21 factorial upon 21 minus 3, 18 factorial, and 3 factorial. So this can be written as 21 multiplied by 20 multiplied by 19, since 18 factorial is going to cancel out, and this would be 3 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 1. Okay. So further when you are going to solve this, this is 4 times, this is 2 times, this is 3 times, and again this is 7 times. So finally we would be getting this is 30 upon 133. So if you check from the options, we are getting option B here, 30 upon 133. So this is the correct answer for this particular question. So option B will be the correct answer for this particular problem. Let me know if anyone has any confusion. That's great. So if all of you have understood, you can simply comment next so that I can move on to next problem. All of you can simply comment next if you have understood this problem. Okay, that's great. So let's have the next question. So one more question we have from probability. So let's see. So this problem is from dices. I hope you all know what are dices. So in the lockdown, I am sure that all of you must have played the game of Ludo with your friends and families, because I have heard that this is the favorite pastime nowadays. So the problem is based on dices. One of the easier problems, I would say. So let me read out the question for all of you. The question says, what is the probability of getting a sum of 8 when two dice are rolled, given that 2 occurs on one of the two? So it has been clearly mentioned in the question that 2 appears on one of the dices, and you have to find the probability that the sum would be 8. So an easy question for you all. So let's see who is the first one to answer this out. This is among the easiest, I would say, one of the easiest questions. So I can see Preeti answering it as 1 upon 11, then Janvi B, SP Habibullah saying option A, Monica B, Shivam A. So lot many answers coming in, with most of you saying option A and option B. So let's see which one is correct among the both options. So I hope you guys are comfortable in the language. If you have any constraint with the language, if some of you want to have the discussion onto Hindi, you can let me know. I can use some of the, like wherever required, I can speak in Hindi also. Okay, so I can see most of you are answering option A and B, but there seems to be some confusion now with option A or B. So this is for sure that is either of the two are correct. Okay, so let's look for the solution, like what is the correct approach to solve this problem. So my dear friends, it's given that there are two dices. Two dices are being rolled, and it is clearly mentioned that 2 occurs on one of the two. Okay, so let's look for all the outcomes when two dices are rolled with having 2 on one of the dices. So let's say if one of the dice has got 2, so the other can have 1. So this can be one probable outcomes. If 2 is on the first dice, then 1 can be on the second dice. Likewise, if 2 is on the first dice, then 2 can be on the second dice also. Likewise, if you check the different outcomes, it can be 2 3, it can be 2 4, then it can be 2 5, then it can be 2 6. This is the case when we have taken that 2 comes on the first dice. Now let us assume 2 comes on the second dice. So 1 can be on the first dice, 2 can be on the second dice. 2 2 we have already taken, so we won't be taking this option again. So now this can be 3 2, then this can be 4 2, then this can be 5 2, and again we can have 6 2. So these all can be the outcomes when two dices are rolled out and 2 occurs on one of the two. Okay. So if you check the total number of cases that we have taken, then there are 6 here and 5 here. So total we have 11 outcomes. In all there are 11 outcomes. But in the question, the condition given was we have to get the sum of 8. We have to get the sum 8. So now my dear friends, you have to look for the cases where the sum is equal to 8. So if you check, 2 6 is one such cases and 6 2 is another such case. 2 6 and 6 2, these are the two different cases where we are getting the sum equal to 8. So the answer would be 2 upon 11 for this particular question, which is option B here. So all those who are saying option A, sorry my dear friends, the answer is not correct. A is not correct. Correct answer is option B, 2 upon 11. So Venkata, your answer is wrong this time. I think 7 or 8 times we have said A, but sorry to say the correct answer is option B, 2 upon 11. So I hope this is clear to each one of you. You can respond again if it is clear. If anyone has any confusion, you can let me know right now. Okay, so let's have the next problem. So now a very basic fundamental problem, I would say, based on approximation. So you need to find the value for the expression given out here. You need to calculate the value for this question mark in this question. So as I've told you earlier, this is going to be a very basic session. So today we are going to discuss only the easy questions. Slowly and gradually, when we move to the next sessions, you would see the difficulty level of the questions would keep on increasing. So for today, we are taking only the easy questions. So in this question, you don't need to actually calculate. You simply need to take the approximate values and you need to calculate the value for this question mark out here. I would expect answers from each one of you, so kindly be fast and answer the question right in front of you. I think this can be answered by each one of you. A very easy problem, I would say. Okay, so this time I can see almost all of you have answered option A. Okay, so let's understand how to solve this problem. So those who are not able to solve this, you can look on your screen. So my dear friends, how you have to solve this? Simply you need to check you have to take the approx values, the nearest figure that comes to the values given over here. Like it is given 239.93. So what you can consider 239.93, you can round off this and you can simply write this as 240. 239.93 is near to 240. Likewise 7.97 is near to 8. So write this as 240 upon 8 plus 8.03, this can be written as 8 multiplied by 14.01 is 14 equals to, let's replace question mark by x. So x plus 489.95, this can be written as 490 upon 6.90, this can be written as 7 minus 26.07 can be written as 26. Fine. So when you solve this further, 240 upon 8, this comes 30, plus 14 times 8, this is 112, equals to x plus 490 upon 7 is 70 minus 26. So here we get x equals to, this would be added, this becomes 142 minus 70 plus 26. So this we get equal to 98. So if you check from the options, option A is 98, which I think like almost all of you have answered it correctly. So very good. The correct answer is option A, 98. So you can see, my dear friends, if you go on practicing these questions, you can solve within like 30 to 35 seconds. It won't be taking more than that time. Clear to everyone? Okay, so let's have the next problem now. A similar problem. So those who are not able to solve this one, you can like those who are not able to solve the previous one, you can solve this question right in front of you. So friends, you have to simply take the nearest value, just need to round off this, like 99.97, you can write this as 100, 1.97, this can be written as 2, right? So Snehasi, so don't worry, we would be taking all the questions. So like we have just started the session today. So in the coming sessions, you would see we will be having the questions from each of those topics. So we will be covering all the topics by the time we are going to end the aptitude sessions. So just keep coming on to the sessions and you would see that we will be covering all the topics at the end of the day. Okay, so I can see again different answers coming in, various type of answers. Some of you are getting minus 36, minus 45, minus 48. So almost all the options have been put down in the comments box here. Okay, so let me solve this out for you all. So as I told you, you just need to put the nearest value out here, nearest integer if you check. So in the current case it is 99.97. So this can be written as 100 upon 1.97, this is 2, minus 9.99, this can be written as 10, 8.97 is 9, plus, now this is cube root, this is cube root of 63.99, so this can be considered as cube root of 64. So cube root of 64, if you know, this is nothing but this is 4, 4 cube is 64, so this can be written as 4. So this is simple one, 100 upon 2 is 50, so 10 times 9, 90, plus 4. So what would be the answer? This is nothing but minus 36. So this was an easy one, hardly took 10 to 15 seconds. So the answer is option D. So any answers apart from this minus 45, minus 45, all those are wrong. The correct answer is minus 36. See, the motive behind asking these questions is not to check your calculations, because if you go into the actual calculations 99.97 and 1.97, this is going to be a very tedious job. So the examiner here, he intends to only check like how you can put your mind and how you can shorten the calculations here, how you can take the nearest value and you can solve this. So you have to use this logics out here, then only you would be able to solve the question and get the answer. So the answer is option D, minus 36. So Nupur, most of the times they don't allow the calculator, but if they are going to, but if you're like going to for some of the competitive exams, at times they even allow you to take the calculators. So it depends from exam to exam. So they may or they may not allow during the recruitment exams. Fine. So let's have the next problem now. So these are simple calculation based problems just to enhance your basics. Yeah, so all the videos would be available. You can go through them anytime. You can use the same link that you have received and you can access the video anytime. So Charan, I believe I have answered your question. Yeah, Charan, the video would be available. So my dear friends, just to tell you, like if you're going to work on your calculations, if you want to be very much fast into calculations, I would suggest you something like you can learn the multiplication table up to 30. That is surely going to increase your calculation speed. Next, you can also learn the squares up to 20 or 25. You can learn the squares. This will surely be helping you in the increasing your calculation speed. So work on squares and cubes of numbers and also the multiplication tables. Okay, so this one is an easy one. So let's see what would be the answer. Given 65% of 240 plus what percent of 150 equals to 210. So this can be written as 65% of 240 plus x percent of 150 equals 210. So if you check, my dear friends, 65% of 240. So if you know 10% of 240, that is 24. 10% of 240 is 24. So 60% would be 24 times 6 and 5% would be half of 24. So simply add 12. So if you check this, this would be equal to 156. With 65% of 240, that is 156 plus x percent of 150 equals to 210, or from here we get x percent of 150 equals 210 minus 156, which is equal to how much? 54. Okay, so this is nothing but this is 36%. So x percent, x is equal to 36. I hope you can solve from here. X would be 54 multiplied by 100 upon 150. So from here we would get 36%. So the answer is option D here. So this was an easy one. Again, I can see most of you have solved this. So very good. Great. So let's have the next problem now. So those friends who are expecting a bit high difficulty level, so let me tell you, in first two sessions we are going to make it very easy. Then in the coming sessions you will see that the level has been increased to the moderate level, and finally you would see a very difficult sessions at the end. So since we have to consider each type of students available out here, so for everyone we have started the basic sessions initially, and slowly we would be moving to the moderate and difficult level sessions. So the question here right in front of you, it is mentioned a candidate secured 30% of marks in an examination and failed by 6 marks. Another candidate secured 40% marks and got 6 marks more than the pass mark. The maximum marks in the examination are. So you need to tell me the maximum marks of the examination. Okay, so this is again an easy problem. So let us solve this. It is mentioned a candidate secured 30% of marks in an examination and failed by 6 marks. So a candidate among you, you can consider he scored 30% marks but still he failed by 6 marks. This means in order to pass he should have secured 6 more marks. So let us take the maximum marks as M. Let us take the maximum marks as M. So according to question, if the candidate has scored 30% of M plus 6, if he has scored 6 more marks, he would have passed. So 30% of M plus 6. This would be the passing mark. Now in the second case, it is given another candidate who secured 40% marks and got 6 marks more than the pass marks. Okay, so this means if he secured 40% marks, he got 6 more from the passing marks. So from here we get to know 40% of the maximum mark minus 6 would be the passing mark. So just solve this. So if you check 40% of M minus 30% of M, this would be 10% of M. So this we get equal to 12. So from here we get M equals to 120. So the answer is as simple as option B, 120. So I hope most of you might have solved the same way. True? Okay, so how I did 40% of M and 30% of M. So 40% of M minus 30% of M, this is 10% of M. So 10% of M, 6 plus 6 is 12. So 10% of M is 12. So M comes 120. Okay, so now a problem based on series. Okay, so I can see Achal answering it as option A, Jairaj 36, sides option C, Ayush 36. So lot many answers coming in. Everyone has to answer this. This is one among the easiest problems. Okay, so let me help you out. So my dear friends, if you know the squares of the number, if you check, this is 6.25. So the square of 25, the square of 25 is 625. So this means 6.25 would be the square of how much? 2.5. So this is 2.5 square. 9 is 3 square. 12.25. 12.25 is the square of 1225 is 35 square. 1225 is nothing but 35 square. So this is 3.5 square. So if you check the pattern here, 2.5 square, 3 square, 3.5 square, 4 square, so it is increasing by 0.5. It is increasing by 0.5. So likewise it is 5 square, this is 5.5 square. So the next one would be 6 square, and you know 6 square is how much? 36. So the option is option A, as simple as 36. So these are some of the easier problems. You can expect these type of questions coming into like AMCAT. If you have appeared for AMCAT, so you can see most of the questions of these type appears into AMCAT, the easy problems. Now a series is given to you. You need to find the next number that would come into the series. Let's see who is the first one to answer this. With the answer, you have to tell me the logic also for this question. So whoever is going to comment the answer, you need to write the logic also. Okay, so the now time is up for this particular problem. So my dear friends, if you check the series given out here, the series given is 2 2 4 4 6 8 8. So if you check the pattern, 2 2 4 4 6 8 and again 8. So if you check the pattern, my dear friends, there are two series into this particular pattern out here. So the first series is like 2 4 6 8. So if you check, plus 2 is increasing into each step. So this is a normal AP series. 2, 4, 6, 8. So the next term into this would be 10. But we don't need the alternate term out 10 here. We need to check the term next to 8. So if you check the remaining series, if you check the second series available, so it is 2, 4, then it is getting 8. So this is a GP series. The first one was an AP series increasing by 2, and this one is the GP series. This it is into geometric progression. It is getting double, 2, 4, 8. So the next one here would be how much? Double of 8, since it is getting twice. So 8 times 2, it is 16. So the answer is option D, 16. So all those who have answered 16, that is the correct answer, but option A, 10 is not correct. The correct answer is option D, 16. Hope it is clear to each one of you. Now we have an interesting problem right in front of you from data interpretation. This problem we have from data interpretation. So Ayush, this questions is from number series, so you can expect this into quant, but at times this question can also come into reasoning also based on series. So now we have a question from data interpretation. So let's see who's going to solve this. What is the data given? Let's first read out the question. It says the question is based on data information given below. Percentage wise distribution of the number of mobile phones sold by a shopkeeper during 6 months. Total number of mobile phones sold given is 45,000. So this particular data represents the percentage of mobile phones sold across 6 different months, and you can see this is the total number of mobile phones sold given here. Okay, and this is the ratio. This ratio given is for the ratio between the number of mobile phones sold by company A and company B. So this ratio represents the number of mobile phones sold by company A with respect to company B. Fine. So based on this information given, you need to calculate this particular question given out here. So some calculation is involved in this problem. Anyone who can answer this? I can see only 2 or 3 answers coming in. So this is something a bit complex, I would say, compared to all the problems we have discussed so far. So I would expect like most of the questions, most of the students were saying for some difficult level problems. So you can test this one. This is a bit, I would say, moderate level problem. Okay, so I can see multiple answers coming in. Some of you have answered 1635, some of you have answered 1638, some of you have answered 885. So multiple answers. Okay. So I'm going to give you 15 more seconds and I would let you know like how to solve these type of problems. So Ayush, very good. You are the first one with the correct explanation. Very good. You are correct. So I would expect each one of you to respond. See, first of all, while solving problems onto data interpretation, you need to understand to read the data. So if you are able to understand the data, rest is only the calculation part. But important here is to understand what information has been presented in the data given. Right? So no questions are like difficult or easy. It all depends how easily you are able to read out the data. So in the question given out here, you can see the total number of mobiles sold given information is 45,000. In all, 45,000 mobile phones were being sold, and you can see the percentage of the mobile phones sold across the 6 months starting from July to December is given here. The percentage of mobile phones sold from July to December is given using this data over here. Now in the next, if you check this table given, it shows some ratios of the mobile phones sold by the two different companies, company A and company B. Fine. Like in July, if you check the ratio given, it is 8:7. This means if company A sold 8 mobiles, then company B would have sold 7 mobiles. So this is the ratio given. Now if you check the question, now let's read out the question. It says if 35% of the mobile phones sold by company A during November were sold at discount. So first of all, let's find out the number of mobile phones sold by company A in November. So let's first calculate this information. Number of mobile phones sold by company A in November. So if you check, the total number of mobile phones given is 45,000, and in November the company A sold 12%. The company A sold 12%. So if you check the 12% of 45,000, if you check 12% of 45,000, this would be 450 is 1%, so 12% would be 5400. So 5400 is the total number of mobile phones sold by company A and company B in November, right? Now if you check, in November the ratio of mobile phones sold by company A with respect to company B is 7:8. So if you check in November by company A, if you check, this would be 7 upon the total 7 plus 8 15, 7 upon 15 times of 5400. Fine, this we will do. So anyone can tell me what is the value? So this would be 360 times 7, so this comes around 2520. So 2520 is the mobile sold by company A in November. So this is the first data that we were looking for. This is the number of mobile phones sold by company A in November. But in the question it is given if 35% of the mobile phones sold by company A during November were sold at discount. 35% was sold at discount. It means the non-discounted mobile phones would be how much? If 35% is discounted, so the non-discounted would be 100 minus 35, that is 65%. I hope it is clear so far. So my dear friends, if you are simply going to calculate 65% of this value, we would get the answer for this question. So all we need to do is we need to calculate 65% of 2520. Fine. So this is as simple as 65 upon 100 times of 2520. So just you can divide by 20. So this is 5 times. This is 13 times. So 13 times 126. So if you check, this becomes 1638. So 1638 is going to be the answer for this question, that is option C. Let me know if anyone has any confusion anywhere. Okay, so I hope most of you have understood this. Let's have a next problem on this one. So you can see we have one more question based on the same data given. Just there is a question difference. So you need to solve this question based on the same data. So let's see who's going to answer this one. Anyone who has got the answer for this one? Okay, I can see Achal answering this out as option D, Keval answering this option D, Honey D, Mukya Raja D. So most of you are getting the answer as option D. Let's see which one is correct. What about the remaining students? I can see only 15 or 20 students are answering this. I would expect each one of you to respond with the correct answer. See guys, you need to actually solve the problems. Don't like copy paste, like if other are answering option D, you will also mark as option D. Okay, so let me help this out. Those who are not able to solve, we can look on your screen. So again, as you know, like it is mentioned in the question, total mobile sold was 45,000. Now if you read out the question given here, it says if the shopkeeper earned a profit of rupees 433 on each mobile phone sold of company B during October. So we are talking about the October month. So if you check in October, 8% of the mobile phones were sold. In October, 8% of mobile phones were sold and total given is 45,000. So first step is 8% of 45,000. So if you check, this is equal to 3600. 8% of 45,000 is 3600. So this means 3600 mobile phones were sold in the month of October. Now we are concerned only about the mobile phones sold of the company B. We don't have anything to do with the company A here. So if you check in October, the ratio of mobile phones sold is 7:5. The ratio of mobile phones sold in October is 7:5. So if you check the number of mobile phones sold by the company B in October, that would be 5 upon 7 plus 5 is 12. So 5 upon 12 of 3600. This is nothing but 1500. This means in October, 1500 mobile phones were sold by company B. And it is clearly mentioned that the shopkeeper earned a profit of 433 on each mobile. So total profit, if you check, total profit that would be the total number of mobile phones sold of company B in October multiplied by profit on each of them. So if you check this, this is nothing but 649500, which is given here as again option D. So these are easy problems, I would say. Like if you know the fundamentals, surely you're going to answer this all. So the answer is 649500, that is option D here. And I can see like most of you have answered it correctly. So very good. The answer is option D, 6,49,500 rupees profit by selling company B mobiles. So I hope it is clear to each one of you. You can mention next so that I can move on to the next problem. So one more problem we have based on the same data. In the meantime, those who have recently joined in, let me tell you once again, let me take you to the Mentorrbuddy website. So those who have just landed, you can see this is the Mentorrbuddy website. So you have to log in here using the login option, and once you are logged in, your aim is to achieve the goal against each of the subjects, that is reasoning, quantitative and verbal. Okay, and as you know, I've already told you, like once you achieve the goal, you'd be getting several rewards at the various milestones. So you can see at every certain percentage you are going to be awarded with different kind of certificates. Like if you're going to achieve 10% goal across quant, reasoning and verbal, you're going to win a 1-day free workshop on ethical hacking. Likewise, if you're going to achieve 20% goal, so based on the goals that you are going to achieve, you'd be awarded with certain certificates and workshops. Apart from that, you can go and you can take the assessments onto the various topics. So you can see all the topics are given out here, and you need to perform well in each of the topics here in order to achieve the goal. So go and practice as much as you can, and you'd be able to get certain certifications and various other benefits on achieving the goal. So that is how Mentorbuddy works, and it is surely going to help you to excel in the placement exams. Fine. So next time when you come in, just try to achieve the maximum goal onto each of the topics and also on the complete subject. Now coming back based on the question that we were discussing, so this is the question right in front of you. So this was the question we were discussing. Let's see if any one of you can answer this one. Anyone who has got the answer, let me know. Anyone with the answer? Okay, so I can see Ayush answering as 130. Kishore has also given option D. Okay, so let me help you out. Like those who are not able to answer this one, this is again similar to what we have discussed in the previous two questions. So if you check, my dear friends, the given question was the number of mobile phones sold of company A during July. So first of all, let's look for the data of the month of July. It is 17%. So you need to calculate 17% of 45,000. Okay. So if you check the total mobiles sold in July, so for July, if you check, this would be 17% of 45,000. So tell me what would be this value? This is 7,650. This means 7,650 mobile phones were sold in the month of July. But we are concerned here only with the mobile phones of the company A. That is again 8 is to 7 here. So if you check the mobile phones of the company A in July, that would be 8 upon 15 times of 7650. So how much is this? Can anyone tell me? This would be 8 into 510, which is equal to how much? 4080, right? Let me know if it is correct. So 4080 mobile phones were sold of the company A in the month of July. Now if you check for the number of mobile phones sold of company A during December. In December it is how much? 16%. So you need to check 16% of 45,000. So tell me what is this value? Anyone from the Anyone from you? What is the answer? Tell me for 16% of 45,000. What is this value? This is 7,200, right? Now we have to check the number of mobile phones of A in December. That is 7 is to 9. So here you need to check 7 upon 9 plus 7 is 16. So 7 upon 16 times of 7,200. This is how much? Tell me. This is 450 again, and 450 times 7. This is 3150. This value we are getting equal to 3150. Now it is asked in the question the number of mobile phones sold by company A during July is approximately how much percent. So this we have one information, this is the second information. So you need to check 4080 is what percentage of 3150. So simply divided by 3150 multiplied by 100. Okay. So if we check, this is around 13 times, I would say. This is around 1.3 times. This would come something 1.3 something. So 1.3 times of 100, this comes around 130% approximately. This is not the exact value, this is the approximate value. So you'd be getting option A as the correct answer here. Fine. Let me know if anyone has any confusion in this. The value would be 130 point something. If you round off that would be around 130%. That's why in the question it is mentioned approximately what percentage. You can see it is mentioned approximately what percentage. That's why we are getting this as 130 here. Fine. Now you might be thinking how we have written 1.3. So you can check, like the 10% is 315. So it is more than that, and it is around 900 more. So that's why this comes around 1.3 times. This is around 13 times. So that's why it is 1.3. So those were having some confusion, like how you're getting 1.3. So this is around 13 times. That's why it is written 1.3, and 1.3 times 100 is 130%. Fine. So that's all from my side today, my dear friends. You can go on to Mentorbuddy to practice more such type of questions. You will get thousands of questions based on each of the topics. You can go and you can practice again and again. You can look for the various questions there. You can practice so that you can excel in the various tests that you are going to appear. Fine. So I hope you all know the website. Again, I'm referring you to the website here. This is mentorbuddy.com right on your screen. So you can log in and you can practice onto the various modules here on reasoning, quantitative and verbal. Okay, so I don't need to like repeat this again and again. Just this was the first session, so I'm taking you to this portal again and again onto Mentorbuddy. Come here and you can practice here onto Mentorbuddy. Okay, and as I've told you, that would be like I've told you, I've shared the mail ID with all of you, like mentorbuddyql@gmail.com. So if you have any queries related to anything, you can post all your queries out there on mentorbuddyql@gmail.com related to anything, related to the content, related to any questions you have, any questions that we're not able to understand, anything that you have related to the sessions that we have, you can email us on mentorbuddyql@gmail.com. Fine. I hope you all have the email ID. If you don't have, we'll be sharing those in the description section out there. You can refer that and you can mail us. Fine. So tomorrow we'll be having one more session probably, and that would be a bit difficult session. A moderate level questions would be discussed here. This was just the starting one. So that's why we have taken the easy level problems. Fine. So that's all from my side today. Have a good day ahead and keep learning at mentorbuddy.com. Thank you all.